Hey y'all, Airgun Angie with Gateway to Airguns. This is part 2 of my grip review on the Gamo Swarm Bone Collector Gen3i. And part 1, I told you about the aesthetics, the operation, and took some first shots. Now it's time for part 2. We're going to go over some testing of accuracy, velocity, sound, all that kind of stuff. So let's grip it.
It's shooting time, oh, it's shooting time. Get my airgun on the firing line. Oh, it's shooting time.
Really quick, I want to say thank you to Gateway to Airguns for making this video possible. Go check them out, guys. www.gatewaytoairguns.org. www.gatewaytoairguns.org. First up, guys, pellet testing results. I tested dome pellets as well as hunting pellets, 2 different shot cards. So what were the favorites? Well, the favorite dome pellets were the Barracuda 15s. Those are 15.89 grains from H&N Sport. And then the Gamo Red Fires and the H&N Sport Hornets. So we get 2 really good hunting pellets that the Gamo Swarm Bone Collector Gen3i liked. I tested them at 25 yards. It's time to take them back to 35 and see how they do. And it picked up the last shot. How sweet. So I am going to, that's kind of odd. We had 1 drop. The crowley's not picking up I'm going to shoot a couple more for a couple reasons. One is because I'd like to get a reading on my crony. 2 is because I got 2 that just kind of went way off, and I'd like to see if I shot 2 more, if they would join the group. All right, so that one went with the other ones, but interesting. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, guys. So I thought the Red Fires would have done the best, but actually the best ones were the Hornets and the Barracuda 15s. And I thought they did well enough to try them at 45 yards. But before we do that, we're going to talk trigger. What kind of trigger weight are we getting with the Gamo Swarm Bone Collector Gen3i? I think you guys will be surprised. This is amazing. The first results I got on an inexpensive break barrel. This is like sub 350 for this gun. Sub 350, inexpensive, absolutely gorgeous break barrel. The trigger pull is. First result, 1 pound, 12.7 ounces, so less than 2 pounds. And the second one was 1 pound, 5.4 ounces. So under a 2 pound trigger for an inexpensive break barrel. Super sweet. Okay, 45 yards it is, and I think it's gonna do great. I've shot it at that distance and even further and had great kill zone results. So let's check it out. All right, so I looked at the target and these were pretty close, so I figured I'd go ahead and test them both at 45 yards. First up, the Barracuda 15s from H&N Sport. We are at 45 yards. There goes a caterpillar. Okay. Here we go. And the target is quite small back here. And I don't have much more magnification, so that's going to be it for me. Here we go. That's actually pretty good for 45 yards. I would say squirrel head size for sure. All right, let's see what the hornets give us. Okay, that was so far off. I gotta shoot one more. Not terrible, guys. Like, we all know we get flyers sometimes, and I believe that's what a few of those were. 45 yards with a break barrel. We've got more testing to do. So guys, just as expected at 45 yards, not as tight as at 30, but still some good kill shots. All right, next up, what about velocity? This is not a PCP, so there is no full to empty. Basically get empty when your muscles are too tired to cock it, and this one's not that bad to cock, so you should be able to shoot it for a while. With the break barrels, I'll test them with a 20 shot string, seeing how consistent the velocity is over 20 shots, as well as the accuracy. So beginning at the beginning, using the H&N Sport Barracuda 15s, shot 1 produced 737 feet per second, and halfway through it shot 10 of 716, and the last shot dropped a little to 693. That's an average of 726 feet per second and about 20 foot-pounds of energy. That's plenty enough power for those good old fuzzy tails. And the accuracy over those 20 shots was super consistent, and the groups were pretty tight. Okay, so we discussed the consistency of the velocity over 20 shots, and that was with the Barracuda Hunter 15.89s. Well, what about max velocity? Now, max velocity with this, Gamo claims 1100 feet per second. That's with an alloy pellet. I don't do my testing with an alloy pellet. I do it with the lightest lead pellet that I know of, and that's the Hobbies, which are 11.9 grain. So with the Hobbies, I got a max velocity of 910 feet per second, and that's 21.6 foot-pounds of energy. So not bad with a lead pellet. So this one is purpose for some backyard pesting, backyard small game hunting, or in the woods. You don't have to be in your backyard, but in the woods, maybe sound doesn't matter as much. In your backyard, it can be a big deal. So let's check it out and see what we get over the decibel meter. So at the muzzle, I got 84.5 and 86.2. Now from the shooter's perspective behind the table. I got 83 and 85.7. And because this is the reason why it is important to have a backyard friendly air rifle, your neighbors, let's see what your neighbors might hear 20 yards away. From 20 yards away, I got 79.2 and 83.2. I would say abso-freaking-lutely backyard friendly. All right, guys, so we have one more test offhand, and I'm pretty sure I know how this is gonna go. I've been shooting the Gamo Swarm Bone Collector, not necessarily the Gen3i because it is very new, but it's big brothers. I've been shooting them for a while and oh man, they are great offhanders. So let's go check this one out. There we go. Get back up there, rabbit. I'm not done with you. Sweet. Guess what? That's it for that mag, but I got another one. Nice. Well, I've got ducks coming into the party over there by the target, so I think that's like 3 out of 4. I'm gonna stop there. As far as an offhander, I already knew this, guys. I've been squirrel hunting, iguana hunting with this guy. This is a great offhander. Well, there it is. I kind of knew it. Anyways, on to cons and pros. So cons with this one, really the only one is the swarm mechanism. Just like before, it does limit what type of optic you can put on here. So just make sure that your optic is not too long where it's going to interfere with cocking the gun. That's pretty much it, guys. There are no other cons when it comes to the Gamo Swarm Bone Collector. All right, on to pros. Well, like always, guys, let's start with appearances. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous break barrel with a wooden stock. It's got the nice stempling on the forearm as well as on the grip. And then it's got the nice bone collector emblem, which I think they made that emblem just for this gun. It does look very nice on there. It's got the rubber butt pad to reduce the recoil. Of course, the green band to let you guys know this is purposed for small game hunting. It has a non-adjustable raised cheek piece to help you get a better view from your optic. It's got the recoil reducing rail. Because this is a break barrel, it produces reverse recoil, which can damage regular optics. So make sure you have an optic that is purposed for break barrels on it. It has the trigger, guys. I was absolutely surprised when I did a trigger test on this, when I pulled it. It's a break barrel and it's less than a 2-pound trigger on this inexpensive but awesome break barrel. The safety is located right in front of the trigger, which I should have probably put that in the con section. I'm not really fond of that because it can easily be mistaken for the trigger, and it even feels like it, the shape of it. So I'm not really fond of that, but on the other hand, it does give you easy access to just flip on and off with your trigger finger, the safety, so you can take your shot quicker. Then there is the dovetail rail. You've got what makes the Gamo Swarm stand apart from all other break barrels is the 10-shot swarm mechanism that allows you to just take shot after shot. Just cock the gun. You don't have to load a single pellet in every time. You just cock the gun and shoot until the 10 are gone, and then you pop that one out by pushing this green thing back and load another one. And another cool thing about the 10-shot mags are they are inertia driven. That means that a pellet does not advance until you shoot the gun. It is advanced by the recoil. So I know in the past with these break barrels, before they started doing that, I had an issue with double feeding. No more, guys. That's done. Don't have that problem anymore, which can cause problems with accuracy. It can mess up your barrel. There are some issues that can come from double feeding the pellets, but they fixed that, so good job, Gamo. It has the whisper technology to keep it backyard friendly. Using the right ammo, consistent hold. It's got plenty of accuracy, plenty of power for a small game hunter. Guys, I guess that wraps it up for the Gamo Swarm Bone Collector Gen3i. I would like to take a moment to say thank you to Gateway to Airguns. Thank y'all so much for making these videos possible. If you guys have not checked them out, you really, really should. If you're an air gunner, you like air guns, you like shooting, go check out www.gatewaytoairguns.org. There is something for every air gunner alive. I promise. I'm Airgun Angie with Gateway to Airguns. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all don't just have a good day, have an awesome one. See ya. Okay, first up, guys, pellet testing.